Welcome to the Football Yanks podcast. It is match day 25, and it is just me and Luke and me
Quietly.
this week. Yeah. Derek is skiing. I think skiing in Canada. We're
You
also
guys
live.
and
We're streaming this one again
all
this
these
week. So
fancy
I'm just
fucking ski trips.
yeah. Well, I didn't go on a ski trip. We just got back from Turks and Caicos, which is also fairly fancy. The flight back was getting there and home was like brutal. Yeah, the flight there. So I take the blame for this, but
Good to hear.
Shannon is one of the Shannon is one of those people who like um wants to be at the airport for like not 1 second longer than is necessary. Like ideally you cut it so close that you just walk right onto the airplane. That stresses me the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm
Like
kind of like halfway in between the two. Like, if I'm there too long, I am mad about it. But I don't like to cut it close like that. That would stress me
Yeah,
out.
it like really, and honestly, it's kind of how she runs her life. Like you probably see every week how close she cuts it on getting to soccer.
It's closer and closer
Um,
every week as the season goes too.
yeah, yeah, it yeah, it's like an efficiency thing. Like I think she just like values time more than anything, which like we all should,
Fair,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so she just likes to cut it as close as possible,
I
and I've
really like you turning like this kind of suspect thing about Shannon liking to get to the airport really quickly to like she really
it's
values her time. Don't worry.
yeah, it's I mean it's a very consistent thing with her, like
uh,
whereas I'm like I'm very like I don't know if it's because I was in the military or what, but like I feel like if I'm not there early then I'm late. um like to anything. Like I never want anyone to be waiting on me ever. It's just like we're very different.
I hear
So
that.
I was trying to I was we almost got fucked with this going to uh I think our ski trip in December, where we got to the airport I think with like 30 minutes to spare, so 35 minutes to spare, and they were like we can't guarantee that your bags will make it onto this plane.
Yeah, that's the big
um
thing too. Yeah.
yeah, which with a ski trip, pretty big deal. Like
That's the whole trip.
like yeah, the gear is fairly critical.
You can't like buy a
um
swimsuit at the airport.
yeah. And so where I blame myself on this trip because I didn't like adequately research. So we were flying from Baltimore to Miami and then going to Turks. And so
Mm.
I thought the Baltimore to Miami leg was considered domestic, and then the international shit would happen in Miami,
Ooh,
which
no.
interestingly
Yeah.
is what happened on the way back. Like when we got to Miami,
Yeah.
they processed us through immigration and stuff there. Um, and so yeah, we got there with like, so you're required to be there an hour before for your bags to be, I
Mhm.
guess, like checked or was screened for international travel. We
Stop
got to
traveling with
the
all those drugs.
yeah, we got to the front of the line at with like I think we were like 56 minutes, and they would not move an inch on that. Like literally we're like, you're not flying today, and rebooked us for the next day, so it shaved a day off our trip. So that was a
Damn.
big bummer. And then
Yeah.
yeah, yesterday there were just
Fuck.
yeah,
That sucks.
dude, it was
The
brutal.
drive
Like
back from BWI was probably
dude,
not
yeah,
happy.
we like it was not a happy car ride. It was already like um it was already like early as shit. Like all the flights leave at like 6 a.m.
I'm
for
never
that
traveling
trip.
with either of you for like
Yeah.
this reason. Not that I would,
Yeah.
but
So yeah.
we're
So
not
like, and
going
it's
to
also
England. We're
like
not going anywhere.
I'm like pissed, like, and I'm like, I'm getting you 2 fucking hours before
Oh
we
yeah.
leave. Like I'm like, yeah. And so anyway, I was basically like, going forward, I demand that we leave 2 hours early for all flights.
Bowy's
So he's
yelling at
popping off
something.
over there.
Yeah, someone's
Yeah, so
pissing him off.
that was a brutal start, and then the flight back was really rough too. Like, I guess there were storms, the southeast United States. There were tons of
Mhm.
storms. I don't know if you guys got them here, but
Yeah, a tiny bit, not really.
there were tons of delays. Miami was a madhouse, and
Yeah.
we didn't get back until like I think I got to bed at like 2 a.m. So I'm pretty wiped out. How was your weekend?
Not long enough. Tessa's show in Fells Point just opened. So everybody, if you want to go to Vagabond Players in Fells Point in Baltimore, go see the show. How I Learned to Drive. Lots of trigger warnings involved with it, but it was fantastic. And then just chilled, man. It's been a crazy couple weeks for Tessa and I, which just talking about time, having none of it. So we just kind of reclaimed some, hung out together for the first time in a while. Today kind of has been a whirlwind with work, but we won't talk about that live. Just just hanging in there.
So you're headed to your studio after this. You're
Yeah,
just
probably.
like,
I'm gonna go
you
work.
have-
I'm just in like the fuck everything. I'm gonna go make some garbage for a couple hours and then come home, and hopefully I can be in a better place when I wake up.
yeah, hope so.
Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of what it's for sometimes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about some soccer. Where do you want to
Yeah.
start? I'll give you first pick. I thought it was like it was very hard for me to watch these games. Got through a lot of them today. Like none of the streaming services. So that's a British, not colony. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Turks and Caicos is like part of the British like
Part of the UK.
territories. Yeah, like anyway, so my understanding is that like they won't let the Brits have to pay for like 8 streaming services to be able to see all the like they're pretty like locked down, and all of my streaming services, I didn't have a VPN going, and I wasn't going to deal with that while I was there. So I was kind of beholden to like whatever they had at the hotel bars playing. So I had to like catch up today.
I've had that
so
experience when traveling, actually. Like the internet providers just won't let you host a US account or something like that.
Yeah. You have to like VPN from a US address to
I think it was like a week of kind of important games that didn't look so important at the beginning, with some controversy. I think we've got a real Premier League race. I think it's worth talking about Everton and Crystal Palace just because it just happened. Everton come out of the relegation zone with a point. They're on goal difference above Luton right now. Crystal Palace, who, Roy Hodgson, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point, stepped down from because of health reasons. So there was a little controversy in the game, or a little like kind of news. And Crystal Palace just hired that German manager who was managing Eintracht Frankfurt, I think.
Yep.
So that was interesting. He was in the box. Not the most, not a real high quality game, but there was stuff on the line in the end. Probably a boring
Oliver
result.
Glasner.
Right? Yeah, Oliver Glasner. Yeah. Probably good actually signing. He'll get him to play attacking football.
Yeah, like a shockingly progressive signing for them to bring in for manager.
I don't know how he's going to turn a team that is actually pretty pretty older, like veteran players throughout it, how he's going to turn that in. That's going to need some transfer windows behind it. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. But Everton
he'll get them results if they back him and give him time.
He did well in the Bundesliga without much in terms of like resources. I think they made Champions League football, did okay in the group stage. May even have gone through, but I don't remember. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Everton are just kind of trying to scrape alive. You could tell The points are everything to Everton right now, especially until like they get a points back for their appeal if that happens. They're really, really close to Luton.
Yeah. Luton are fun to watch, man. We'll talk about them in a second, but man, yeah, I'm enjoying Luton being in the PL.
I think it's a really good Premier League season now. Like without the points deduction with Everton, it may not have been as interesting, but there's like 3 at the top who really look like they could win it, and like 4.
You're including Tottenham in that?
No, I'm not. Not after this weekend. I'm not as optimistic as Ange.
Yeah.
But and then there's 4, maybe 5 teams at the bottom who could go down. So it's competitive. Really, there's 3 teams fighting for the 3rd drop spot, but are fighting to get out of that spot. But which is
I agree. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Good.
Yeah, nothing to learn from Everton either. I don't think Sean Dyche is just like, we're going to play it forward.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring, but whatever. I kind of hope Everton stay up.
Yeah. Pickford, his like direct pass to Calvert-Lewin, it's like pretty on point. Like it's pretty lethal. That's
why they moved Decore up to get the second ball. Yeah.
Yeah. That was working for them in the first half really well. Really the whole game that was kind of there for them. Decore, I thought, played pretty well. They were talking about Branthwaite, how he's like getting an England call up and potentially headed to the Euros.
I think he should be, really.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Like they've got a squad. They've picked up results here and there. The deduction has just made the season like a lot more intense than it should be, I guess.
They'd probably be cruising pretty hard right now if they didn't get, which, again, makes for a more interesting table. But they need to win games like this really soon. And Sean Dyche knows it. That's why they were so desperate to get the 3 points at the end. It was really weird. Crystal Palace, like the goalie at one point with 3-4 minutes left, bring the ball all the way to the corner of the bottom corner of the 18-yard box just to waste time when you're tied. Like that's when I kind of turned off. I was like, well, this is shit. Shit.
Beto has been a lot worse than I thought he would be. When they picked him up, his work rate is so high. Like he's almost like a Timo Werner, really, like a totally different type of player.
Yeah. I think of him a little more like Nicholas Jackson in profile, but with some of Timo Werner's like traits, maybe.
Yeah. That's a better way to put it. Like the finished product is just not there for him. But his like dedication is like impossible to question.
Oh yeah. He works his ass off. And what's his name up for? I always forget which Calvin he is.
I think my video cut out.
Yeah, yours did there. There's a little thumbs up.
Well, what is that about?
Do you see that thumbs up?
Yeah, I do. How bizarre is that?
Russia has hacked into Ryan's video and is promoting our stream on Russian television. Oh my gosh. Yeah, what were you saying about Beto?
What?
We've lost the plot.
I don't know what to do about this. That's really funny. I'm gonna keep talking and I'll try unplugging it and plugging it back in. Sorry, what was your question?
Oh, I was just saying what's his name who usually plays up top? Calvin, I can never remember his last name. Wow, now I'm getting this at Glatu. But their standard
Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin. Thank you. I always want to say like Calvin Wright Phillips, but that's not who it is, obviously. Calvert-Lewin he's not in good form. I don't know. He should be a better player he should be scoring a lot of goals. He just has no confidence. So it's kind of it's tough because Beto really shouldn't play, but he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying about him is man, this is so fucked. It's really funny.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Maybe we'll just do now it's just gonna be my face the whole time.
Yeah, I know. The tables have turned.
Yes. Usually it's my technology going out.
Yeah, Beto was the guy who I rated really highly. Like when he got picked up, I was like, that's a pretty like gangster snipe by these guys. But yeah, just hasn't worked out. I'm gonna try to swap cameras entirely on the fly.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I think that was all of the real observations I had here.
Yeah.
I think
It
did I say
so
I?
boring.
Yeah, it was pretty boring. IU's goal was like sick. I thought.
I think IU's an underrated player. He's that guy is a professional. Like he's been on a lot of teams. He always does the same thing. I felt like both teams had a lot of players coming back from AFCON too. So I think that was part of the reason why the game was so broken up. But Everton just never played through their midfield. That was so it was just back and forth, which was entertaining probably for someone at the stadium, but not for me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what about Luton, the other team at the bottom, Luton against Man U. I think that's a good jump too.
Yeah, sure. Man, this is
crazy game.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to just turn that off. No video for me today. Yeah, so crazy game. Crazy game, really back and forth. I like it it started off like it could have been it felt like we were setting up for just like a boxing match, like just with the rate that goals were being scored. And then like it just didn't happen anymore. But the game was still really entertaining. I like what's his name? There were a couple just completely blown opportunities by Man United. Bruno.
No, man.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad for Bruno. I kind of hate Bruno Fernandes, to be honest.
I think everyone does.
It's just not my favorite. I will say I think Rasmus Højlund is showing himself to be a really good striker on the transition. His hold-up play and his finishing generally has been really, really good, and it was good in this game too.
Yeah. I thought I agree.
Garnacho missed a chance.
Yeah, that's who I was saying. Yeah, Garnacho. What else?
Harry Maguire probably had his first bad game in a while.
Yeah, Rashford looked okay. Casemiro, I thought very well could have gone off with a double yellow card.
It's every game for him.
Yeah, that guy. It's kind of interesting, right? Because like he had never been given a straight red until he came to the PL. I think is like what the statistic is, and there's all these like controversies around Barcelona and Real Madrid and their involvement with the refereeing in La Liga. And yeah, it is kind of interesting with that dude to see like these are clearly bad tackles that he deserves to be carded over. Yeah.
I think it's also that the game is a lot faster in the Premier League. And Casemiro is probably not the most motivated moment-to-moment player,
Yeah.
And I think that, because the game's faster and he's not as, mobile as he was, he's really getting caught out. Yeah. So many yellow cards. It feels like every tackle he makes is a yellow card almost. Like it could be. It's close to. And he does distribute the ball really well after when he does win it. But I think that's a really problem position coming up here. I think Manedo is really good, but he needs someone who can just hold in the pocket and control the game. And Casemiro, it's just Manu. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can do it for a whole season. That's the thing. Maybe he'll be good down the stretch. And that all being said, Man United are picking up some momentum here. I think, and they've found a way to play on this like really transitional counterattacking style, which was why Luton and Man U I think was so interesting because they both wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got some like we all shit on Man United all the time, but they've got momentum.
Yeah.
Three
they
points
do
behind Spurs now.
Yep. Definitely. But they could have, like I said, they could have won this game. It would have been, or sorry, they did win this game. They could have put more goals in, is what I mean.
Yeah. And Luton could have scored 3-4 times too.
Yeah. Luton could have won this game. Barkley was fucking immense in this game.
Yeah.
He was.
Can I say something? You compare him to other sixes in the league, like Casemiro, like Casado, like who are high dollar players, and not Reece James. Oh my God, Ross Barkley comes in and really makes a name for himself, shows his quality again.
Yeah. How old is he?
Like 33, something like 32.
Yeah.
But he's been around for so long. He was in the Chelsea team when he was so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You're right. He is fantastic. Like, what a leader.
Yeah. He's 30. He's only 30, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah. Dude, he's been around for so long. Everton is where he started his career.
Oh, and then
went to
Chelsea. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah. He's looked great this season. Yeah, I don't know.
It's the first time I've ever seen him as a 6. That's what's different. He's always been as a number 8, where there's more responsibility for, goal creation, goals, all that kind of stuff. But in that holding position, he just looks so comfortable and strong.
Yeah.
So
he's also, I think I've said it before on the podcast. He's a very underrated passer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he reads the game really well, and he passes into space really well.
Yeah, like on the diagonal from that number 6 position. Yeah, he can ping it, man. Yeah, off the top of his foot.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I like this one. It like if you were to look at, so like this final score was Luton 1. This was at the like Walmart that Luton plays.
It's the storage container. It's like the Grand Design storage container stadium.
Yeah, and it's so Luton 1, Man United 2. And all the goals were scored, I think, within the first like 14 minutes or something. And you would think that would make for a really boring game, but these guys just like went back and forth at each other. It was a lot of fun. So yeah. Where do we want to go next? Let's talk about Sheffield Brighton. We'll cover the like bottom of the table.
Sheffield still suck.
They're fucking terrible.
Brighton is good.
Brighton's pretty good. Did you see the red card?
It's nasty. What he's thinking. It was Mason Holgate. No, who was his name?
It was Holgate. Yeah.
Fucking what is like? It's the most unnatural thing you could do in that position.
Yeah, Hyunmin's son must have been fucking jealous. So jealous of this tackle. He's probably like watching that as part of his prep this week.
Mason Holgate should know how to tackle though. And son does not know how to tackle.
Yeah.
And then there's a Sheffield player who came in after the game without seeing the replay to give him credit. He was like, "It's not a red card for me." Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
This was one of the matches that were actually available to us in Turks, and Shannon was like in the other room when that tackle went in, and I was like, "Get back in here! This is the worst tackle I've ever seen in my life. You have to see this." It was so fucked, man. It was, and then that happened. So this one ends Brighton 5, Sheffield 0-0.
It's called soccer. Go USA.
But it was like it was over so early. That happened in the 13th minute, that red card.
Yeah.
Sheffield, probably the worst team in the PL. Almost certainly, I would say the worst team in the PL this season. Their only real competition being Burnley.
Like if you bring up that game on, whoscored.com, it literally says under Sheffield United, team has no significant strengths. So that pretty much describes everything for you, ladies and gentlemen.
That is some fucking shade.
They were bad.
Dude. Yeah, they suck. They really fucking suck. Yeah, and then I get like Adingra had a game. The second goal he scored was just such a smooth finish. Matoma always looks dangerous. Buonanotte, who came into the season, I think, is sort of an unknown, really making a name for himself. His left foot is lethal.
Yeah.
And yeah, Pascal Gross continues to
dominate. A little bit like Ross Barkley. Like a little, I think Pascal Gross is like 34 or something.
I think that's right. Yeah.
But both kind of coming on as this, and Pascal Gross is more of a number 8 than Ross Barkley is right now. But again, similar thing where it's just like, damn, like they're in control. They're professionals. They know exactly what game is coming at them. It's Pascal Gross is impressive.
Yeah. And I didn't coming into like last season, he really started to emerge as sort of a threat, like like not a world-class player, but like a very solid performer week in and week out. And it's kind of weird. It's almost like a Jamie Vardy thing where he's starting to like come on later in his career, I guess.
Jamie Vardy drinks Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's like a lot made of that Jamie Vardy drinks like a Red Bull before every game and right before he comes on if he's a sub. Yeah, you watch like a game with Jamie Vardy in it, obviously in the championship. They'll look at him every time he's about to sub on and he will be pounding a classic Red Bull.
I've never noticed that.
It's the secret to aging.
I don't know that that's true. Don't not a sponsor. Don't.
But don't they could be.
Not medical advice. I don't know. Not much else to talk about in this game. There were lots of goals for Brighton. Game was over really before it even started. And then Sheffield took a red card.
Well, let's talk about another stupid fucking red card in the Forest West Ham game.
Like,
what is he thinking? Did you watch much of this?
Yes. The sorry, I'm pulling it up. What's his fucking name?
Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
It
just second start, like he knows he's on a yellow card and he's making a high-footed challenge. Like, come on. And West Ham are really looking bad.
Was he sold or is he on loan? He's on loan, right?
I think it's like a loan for the season, but gonna buy probably. Maybe not now, but
I mean, it's
pretty bad.
He's not played soccer really with any regularity or at all for a while.
No confidence.
I don't know. He didn't look very good anyway, right? Like, and the team, this West Ham's in a bad moment right now.
Yeah, it's getting real negative. It feels really negative around the team,
Yeah.
Like every time you watch them, like you hear the crowd, even from the like watching on TV as we do, like you can just tell it's not going well. Yeah. Let's see. I hope Moyes lasts the season. Like he's done enough, I think, to get to the end of the season without being sacked. But I feel like something's got to change now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Areola, like it's always so when you lose and let multiple goals in. This has happened a couple times to Petrovic on Chelsea. It's like rare, that I would then praise the goalie, but this could have been a lot worse than it was.
Yeah.
Forrest really just took it to them, and West Ham just don't look up for it right now. Hudson Odoi is
Played his
looking
ass off.
better and better every week, which I'm happy for the guy for two reasons. One, I want to see the guy do well. At one point, he was like the most hyped prospect in Chelsea's academy,
and now Mudryk is there,
right? But two, the way this deal worked was
there must be a buyback clause of some kind.
No, they basically sold him for nothing. I think it was like 2.5 million. And there's like a 40% sell on or something. Okay. Yeah. So like would just love to see his value skyrocket. He's still young. I think he's 22, 23. Yeah.
Still young, just a little injury prone, which makes you scared for him as a fast young player, but really good in this game.
Yeah.
Tore it the fuck up.
Alanga looked great in this game.
Yeah, except missed one chance, like looking like me out there, like fucking just, like, let's hit it as high as I possibly can.
Yeah, that was bad.
Nico Williams is looking good. I think he's gonna get picked up. You know, some Yanks in the ranks. Gio, I don't think got in. Nope. I'm not 100% on that. No. But Nuno Espirito Santo is doing a pretty good job. Like they're scoring goals. They're pretty efficient, I think, too. There's a very specific way they're playing now without all the pace out wide. And then Morgan Gibbs White through the middle. And instead of like in a number 8, he's like in a number 10. So yeah. I think Forest are not going to be troubled going down this year.
Yeah. Yeah, they look pretty good. They're starting to put it together. It was a rough, I think, start to the season for them, but it's getting better and better. They have a lot of. I mean, they're fucking maniacs in the transfer market, so they have a lot they can draw on.
They also might get a points deduction this year,
right? Really
because they were total fucking maniacs.
Yeah, for like 2 seasons in a row, it's crazy.
Poor Steve Cooper.
Yeah,
it's like 15 new players every fucking transfer.
Yeah,
put out a team.
Man. All right, well let's go into our power zone. Do you want to talk about Chelsea first or Tottenham first?
Oh, I don't care. Let's talk about Chelsea City.
Yeah, fun match. Pep very upset. Chelsea undefeated against City this season. 2 draws at home and away. The home fixture was like a lot more fun, I think. This was interesting. Watching it was very nervy for me as a supporter of Chelsea. I did see, where is it? They had far less total shots. I don't see the shots on target here, but I'm pretty sure they had more shots on target than City.
Total attempts was 31-9, I think.
Yeah, which is wild. Yeah. Disassi looked great.
Disassi was the player of the match by far.
Yeah, he insane.
And I think that I'll let you continue. I'm sorry. I have a hot take about this moving forward for Chelsea, though.
Sure, yeah. Remember it. Real rough seeing Chalobah come on, and he hasn't played soccer in what feels like a year, and he causes that deflection that get off Rodri. That I'm not sure that Petrovic would have gotten to it anyway.
Yeah, just unlucky. Kind of. Yeah. That's just like I think Pochettino went pretty defensive pretty early, and I think that is the kind of goal that you're gonna be willing to concede when you do that against City, where they're gonna have all the possession, they're gonna take a lot of shots.
Yep. Malagusto looking incredible. Like what a snipe that was to get him as the backup to Reece James. Like it's going to be really interesting once Reece James is fit, which like the word is that he's practicing on grass now. Cucurella's on grass again. I forget who else. There was like Chelsea's just getting healthier and healthier. Sterling, though he scores, I still don't love this dude being on the pitch. Like, he's just so selfish, and it bothers me. His decision making is like really suspect. And
It does have that X factor. That's why he plays. You know, he can do something in a moment. You know.
Yeah. And then Jackson just absolutely blew a primo opportunity earlier in the match. Like, I think it was before Sterling scored his goal. Gallagher looked great. I thought it was a really good team performance. Subs were weird. You're up 1-0 on City. I don't know why Nkuku doesn't start this game and is instead brought on as a sub.
Thinking about the League Cup.
Yeah, true. Bringing in Chalobah, bringing in Cassidy, very strange stuff to me. Caicedo, I thought, had a good game. It's just a very cool team performance, grinding it out against the best team in the world and getting a point. So significantly, first time we've scored at the Etihad, I think, in 5 years.
Really?
And then it's a undefeated season against them, which I'll take.
Yeah, Pochettino got his tactics exactly right. Yep. You know, they were willing to give themselves into the counter. I think they got the best out of kind of how Nicholas Jackson can play in transition, but was still poor at finishing, I thought. I think that the tactics were right on, but I go back to the center back position. I think that what I see as Pochettino's move to take Thiago Silva out of the team permanently now, I would be very surprised if Thiago Silva starts in the EFL Cup.
He's injured.
Yeah. Well, so I think not. I didn't realize he was injured for this game, but I think that he has been pushed out of the team a little bit. I don't think Thiago Silva will be a starter again unless there's injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a classic Pochettino move to take out the old guard to show the new one that he's the fucking boss.
Yeah.
And I think that might have to happen to Raheem Sterling. Who knows? But I think that Pochettino got it right on. My hot take is that Thiago Silva should be out. Colwill, Disasi all day long.
Yeah.
That's the partnership for the future.
Solid.
They're just they're so strong, physical. They felt like they rid the energy. Great result. I will say, I think this is a little bit typical of Chelsea's season. We'll see how Pochettino can use it to go into the League Cup and go after it. They can get consistency at this level, which like they did at Aston Villa. The thing is that Chelsea is set up and has played better against the bigger teams all year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really what happens when they play against a low block again. When they go back and play, I don't know. West Ham's a bad example because they are on a bad run, but a team like that, or a Wolves who just did exactly to Tottenham what teams have done to Chelsea this year. So
Wolves swept Chelsea this season. First time in I forget how long.
That's really the kind of question mark for Chelsea going forward. But great result. I think Pochettino is the quality of manager that will carry it on, and this could be a real turning point. I think it felt like that. Felt mature,
I've felt like Chelsea has been at an inflection point so many times this season.
That's the fear, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit beat up at this point, but I love this result. Really excited for the League Cup on Sunday or Saturday. It's at 10.
Don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
know. What bad podcast hosts are we?
I'll look it up. But we were going to play Tottenham, but it was moved.
Was it moved? Cool.
Yeah, it was moved. Yeah, it's on Sunday at 10.
Cool.
Sunday at 10.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game because Liverpool will actually give Chelsea more possession, I think, than Chelsea will really want because Liverpool want to play in the transition. Even though they had some, big injuries.
They have huge injuries right now.
But the team is still set up to that's what's great about Liverpool. They can kind of do both. They can have the possession and come in waves, but they're also happy to sit back just a little bit as a way to draw you in and then move in on the counter. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Be an exciting game.
Yeah, dude.
I'll
Anyway,
come watch that with you too.
Disasi is bringing. What's that?
I'll come watch that with you.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you want to come over and watch it, we should do that. Disasi, I think for me as a fan, I don't know if this is the vibe in like London, but he's quickly becoming a fan favorite. Like he's brought the like intensity that has been missing since Rudiger back to our defense, and like in that Crystal Palace game, he was like fucking crowd surfing in the away stands.
He does have that edge. You see it in his eyes. He could like headbutt somebody.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's a big old bitch, man. That guy is huge. He will fuck you up. He's like a wall, man.
Both him and Colwill. Those are big center backs.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most mobile over 50 yards, but in terms of receiving pressure, they're going to be fantastic. I think Colwill has good mobility. I don't have the experience with Disasi yet to really have an opinion on that,
so this might be a bit of a hot take. I think that so I'm basing this on observing. So Disasi and Colwill have been deployed on the left and right respectively with the injuries that Chelsea have had to their fullbacks. And Colwill's speed gets far more exposed when he's in that position than Disasi. Disasi seems to be able to get up and down the pitch fairly well. So I think of the two, Disasi might actually be the speedier.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
I've just seen Colwill play out wide more, and he seems to be able to cover a lot of ground. So, but again, I leave it to you.
Yeah. So let's talk Tottenham. Wolves went and beat the bricks off of Tottenham at the Tottenham Toilet Bowl.
Also did the double over.
Oh no, dude! Wolves are good.
Dude, Gary O'Neill has done really good. They're a little inconsistent, but has done really good things. I would just put as a Spurs fan, I just like not a mature performance. It's like a performance of a team that's building that doesn't have the right players. We had outside backs. Our outside backs were both missing. Porro and Destiny Udogie, excuse me.
Udogie, yeah.
So I think we could have lost one of them and not both. And there was just not enough in the team. It was just a really bad performance. We had 71% possession. Yeah. And couldn't score more than a goal. So we deserve to lose.
It could have been worse too. Like He Chen, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, he had a couple chances.
Yeah. Neto is so fucking good, man.
Yeah, there's something about him. He really actually didn't do that much in the game except the one moment that he was called to do it. You know what I mean? Which speaks of a good player. But yeah, there's some real defensive issues at Tottenham. Don't get me wrong. Like our center backs, top quality. I think that Van de Ven is like Mickey Van de Ven is top level. And you can have an opinion about Christian Romero, but I would also say he's at a top level. But the transitions that we defend in are fucking terrible. Like Basuma just decided not to pick somebody up. It just ran in front of him and never looked to see if there was a player there. It's like awful. And then we just give up, I believe, a corner, just like a free header. I think set pieces and goals in transition are a big problem. We're not going to make Champions League if we're letting 1.45 goals in a game. So something's got to change a little there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I saw in this. I'm like looking. Oh, Kulusevski's goal was pretty sick. That was fun to watch.
Did that? Meg the goalie, touched it around one guy. Meg the goalie just in a straight line. That's some futsal bullshit.
Yeah. So this match ended Tottenham 1, Wolves 2. Very counterattack heavy football, soccer from Wolves, but I don't know, man.
I fear a little bit of a falling off here is going to come with Spurs. You know, we were so high for a while, and there was so much
Ange won
understanding.
3 Coach of the Month, Manager
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Month.
And I think because we came out with this like new manager energy thing, like, oh, Conte's gone, thank God, this Italian fuckhead isn't yelling
Yeah.
at me, and this Australian guy kind of sounds like my dad, so I might as well play really hard for him.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to see a little bit more of this with Spurs as we build the team up. You know, it's an Ange Postecoglou starting 11, but not an Ange Postecoglou squad. As Jack Pickbrook said on the Athletic Spurs podcast. And I just couldn't agree. When we lose a player, we look different.
Yeah. What did you make of Ange had like basically no reaction to Kulusevski's goal? Like what that felt weird to me. Is that how he is?
I think he's a fairly reserved person, and I think he probably was not happy with the team, and then like to score a goal like that, I'm sure he was just like, come on, like, let's go. Like again. He's not a super compromising individual, it doesn't seem. And I think he got a little Bill Belichick, like grumpiness in him for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah. Werner looked okay. I thought
he didn't. I thought he made the wrong. I disagree. I think there's so many opportunities for him to make a run outside, and he was playing in the middle, so the gaps were there for him to run in behind, and he never did, which is probably an Ange thing. Sonny looked terrible. Madison looks off it. The team just is not.
Yeah, Madison does not look good since he's come back. He doesn't look the same.
Yeah,
what was the injury?
It takes time.
Was it a hammy?
He had a pretty substantial ankle injury. So I think his mobility is a little bit limited. And these things take time, you know.
Yeah.
Players are humans. Like Chelsea's had a lot of injuries. There's just been a ton of injuries this season all over. And, you know, I think it's just how it's going to be for a little bit. I think we have a week off here. So I think it comes at a perfect time. We'll play Crystal Palace on the backside of it. And hopefully we get a little momentum.
Yeah, you guys managed to get eliminated from everything, so you've got plenty of time on your hands.
No fucking excuse. Typical Spurs. Hey, we're in a good position though. Like, we're not in a bad position. We gotta stay positive.
Richest team in London.
That's according to some other rich fuck. I don't really know what any of that means, but
dude,
I think we'll see. What's up? What happened?
This thing isn't even recording right now.